Hello and welcome back to the Sentient Sock Puppets. We all remember StarFox 64, right? I know I do. In fact, it's my favorite game of all time. But one thing that a lot of people forget is that StarFox 64 isn't actually the first game in the StarFox series. The first StarFox game was actually on Super Nintendo of all systems, and it's awesome.
It used the ultra-powerful FX chip to render 3D models, something that the SNES had a hard time with. StarFox pushed the SNES to make one of the pioneering 3D games.
But what if I told you that there was a game in between StarFox and StarFox 64, one that pushed the Super Nintendo even farther than the original StarFox did? Originally, there was supposed to be one, StarFox 2. It was originally meant to be released in 1995, but was cancelled when they realized that the Nintendo 64 was going to be a much more powerful and better system to release a StarFox game on. No physical copies of the game were ever made. However, there is a ROM floating around online, and fans found a way to take that ROM and put it onto a cartridge. I got this from a gaming convention for about $60, but you can find copies of it for about $100 that come with a fan-made box and manual. So let's take a look at this game. I don't really want to grade it like I do other games, but instead just kind of talk about it and show you what it was like. And with that, let's start by just taking a look at the opening scene.
Just from the opening, you can see how well they got this formula down. It runs so much smoother and faster than the first StarFox. The first thing you get to do is choose your character. You have Fox, Falco, Peppy, Slippy, and two new characters, Maya and Faye.
Right off the bat, I love how you can choose between 6 characters. Each member of the StarFox team has their own unique ship. Fox and Falco's ships are very well balanced, while Slippy's and Peppy's are more kind of the slow and strong type. And then we have Maya and Faye, who are more very weak but very fast. Honestly, I usually play as Maya just because he reminds me of the cat from Phantasy Star.
Now the premise of StarFox 2 is simple. Andros came back and is here for his revenge on the Lylat system. And now we get to the gameplay, and it plays a lot like StarFox Command on the DS. You see the entirety of the Lylat system and can fly around to liberate planets, fight enemies, shoot down missiles, and even board enemy battleships. All of the battles take place in the all-range mode, and can actually be a little bit hard to control. My favorite missions, however, are definitely taking down the large enemy battleships. You get to fly straight forward them, shooting down enemies and dodging debris. And when you get there, you fly into the convenient door in the front of the ship, and that's when this game really changes.
If you're a StarFox fan and have been paying attention to the trailers and such of StarFox Zero, then you will have noticed the walker mode, definitely. The Arming transforming into a walker didn't start in StarFox Zero. That's right, it all started here.
The walker mode actually controls very well. You move forward, back, left, and right with the directional pad, and turn left and right using the L and R buttons. You shoot with B, and you can even jump with A. For these inside the enemy's battleship segments, you can swap back and forth between walker and fighter mode by pressing select. For these inside the enemy's battleship segments, you can swap back and forth between walker and fighter mode by pressing select, although I would not recommend trying to fly in the small corridors of these enemy ships. And after you fight your way to the middle of the enemy ship, you have a fight with the core of the ship. When you're done, you fly out of there, and you've won the battle. but not the war, because you still have other ships to worry about. And after a while, Andros will even send the dragon you saw in the beginning of the game after you. And on top of the dragon, StarFox 2 also added Starwolf, who can attack you at just about any time. But then, at the end of it all, you get to fly straight to Venom to fight Andros, and Venom is just so impressive. I cannot believe that the SNES was capable of loading these giant 3D environments. Grant, the walls are devoid of texture, but just think, this is running on the same hardware that Shaq Fu ran on. And here we are, Andros' lair. First, you fight this large metal enclosure that Andros is hiding behind, and when you're done, he's a cube?
What?
However, this boss battle is actually amazing. You follow Andros down this large tube to fight him as this large mask thing. This battle is pretty straightforward Andros stuff. You shoot him in the eyes, you dodge some stuff, and you shoot him in the cube and he explodes into stickers that look like they printed out of the Game Boy printer. And just like StarFox 64, you fly out of the Death Star and are rewarded with some inaudible voices.
So how does this game stack up compared to the other games? Very well, actually. It has everything I love about StarFox: impressive graphics, superb gameplay, and a different experience every single time that you play it. It fits very well in the StarFox universe, and it's a real shame that it was never released. However, I'm very glad that they use elements from StarFox 2 in just about every other StarFox game to this date. If you're interested in playing this, do not hesitate to pick up a copy. It is amazing. I love this game, and it pretty much just perfects Super Nintendo's 3D gameplay. Thank you so much for watching. If you want to stay up to date on the Sentient sock puppets, you can follow us on Twitter with the link in the description. And remember, if you're tired of video games, you can always go to the Sentient sock puppets page, where you can see David review movies and Mady review cartoons. With that, thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.
Hello, this is Evan Magnus filling in for Josh Magnus. Josh is a giant butt chunk and he couldn't be here today.